I'm going to say it right here and now. I can be, at times, a bit ignorant. I'm not lying. I know throughout my years, man, I've said some of the most dumbest things that any human being can say, and some of that has to do with age. While others is just, I was just being ignorant and naive and stupid, and it's crazy because as I age, get older, right, I start to realize just how important things are. If you want to build a foundation for yourself as well as your family, you have to go about things a certain way, and being that at one point in time I was part of the conscious community and I was all about revolution and black power and all the rest of that stuff, right? It's like if I were to look, if that person that I was before, right, were to look at me now, that person would call me a sellout. But it's a certain way that you do things, you see what I'm saying, in America in order to be productive, in order to look out for yourself as well as your family. And I can tell you, there's no type of, how can I put it without being disrespectful to people? There's no investments in revolution. It's just not. There's no, how can I put it, future in that. There's no future in anarchy. You see what I'm saying? So the way that you, as you age and you get older, the way that you revolutionize life is to make a difference in yours. And it's just that plain and simple. And I can't get out there and hand pamphlets out and tell people about black power and knowledge and this and that and history. We were the Egyptians and blah, 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 blah. And then come home and that's my way of living. I've already done it before. I've already sold oils, incense, booklets, all types of stuff. And I can tell you, that does not pay the bills. It may pay the bills for someone that doesn't have children. It may pay the bills for someone that lives at home. It may pay the bills for someone that doesn't have really a lot of responsibilities. Other than that, it does not pay the bills. It just doesn't. I never heard of a millionaire, a millionaire that made money off of selling oils and incense and black power paraphernalia. Never. And if you did get that, right, everybody will be selling it. Now, there are exceptions to the rules. I mean, you have Medina, you have this white company that sells African things made in dashikis and djembe drums. Some of it's made in Africa, most of it's made in China. And they don't lie. They'll tell you on their website, yo, these ankhs, this dashiki, the this, the that, this was made in China and this was made in Africa. So there are exceptions to the rules. You understand? And that company called African Imports. There are exceptions to the rules, but as individuals, you just can't go out there and sell oils and incense and pay your mortgage with that. Eventually you can't. You might get away with it for a little while, but you can't. In other words, there's no future into that stuff. So what has to be done, and I'm saying that to say this. The older me has to have a solid foundation because people depend on me. I'm responsible for little children. My little children. You understand? So as you get older, you start realizing, and listen, hear me out, because I'm making this all relevant to the title of this video. So once you get older, you start realizing, I take it back. You start prioritizing, and the black race are just people in general, right? No longer is your responsibility. It's your family. That's what it's all about. And that's the only people that you can kind of change and help. Other than that, you out there, one single man trying to make a difference in the world, it's not going to happen. I don't believe in, Christianity or whatever have you, but I'll use the Messiah that they believe in called Jesus. Jesus even came down here and tried to make a difference. And what did they do to him? They crucified him. So one man can't change things. So what you have to do is focus on your family. And that's what I'm doing. So all these years, right? Like as of recent, all these years, I've been saying, man, I don't want to live this place, that place, I want to move here and there, whatever have you. And, Charlotte is not my last destination far as moving, what I'm saying? Permanently somewhere, right? So I've always rented, and I've always been braggadocious of the places that I've lived in, what I'm saying? Your luxury apartments. I've stayed in not so much a high-end luxury apartments, but they were pretty nice, what I'm saying? I will say that they high-end. I will say that I've lived in high-end luxury apartments throughout the city of Charlotte, right? But while I was living there, I had this notion of I was smarter than everybody because, I was paying rent and other people were owning homeowners and they were caught in a 25-year mortgage or whatever, and they had to live in Charlotte for 25 years. And, well, when my lease is up, I could just pick up and move. Yeah, that's true, but on the other end, the negative part is I'm literally taking money every month and throwing it out the window. That plain and simple. And it's like, it takes years for some folks, such as myself, to realize just how stupid I was. Just how much money I've blown throughout the years. Because you think about it like this. I'm averaging, every time I sign a lease, I sign a year lease, right? So I'm averaging anywhere between $12,000 to $15,000 per year that I'm throwing out the window. And that's $12,000 to $15,000 that can be put towards a mortgage if I was a homeowner, right? And that's the point that I'm making. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting to realize that I need to become a homeowner. I need something that's solid, that has a foundation, and it's not so much a thing where, I pay my rent up a year, 2 or 3 years or whatever have you, and I'm good. No, I need to be in a situation where I own a home and I'm paying mortgage on it and I know that's solid, it's mine. Now, there are perks towards home ownership, and there are advantages and there are disadvantages, but isn't that what life is all about? The advantages is, of course, owning your own home and having a certain amount of land. I listen to Kwame Brown, here and there, whatever, and he makes a lot of sense. If you got a lot of land, if your house is sitting on a lot of land and your neighbors is like damn near a mile away or whatever have you, or several thousands of feet away or whatever have you, man, you could go take a piss in your backyard. You could do some of everything. Like, I stay in a house and I still feel as though that I'm living in an apartment because my neighbors stay so close to me. Not close to the point where they could look through the window and see me butt naked if I'm taking a shower. Well, yeah, it is that close, but I could close the blinds. But it's too close for me. You see what I'm saying? So I want to be free. I want to be able to roam around and not have to worry about what my next door neighbor says or whatever have you. And it's crazy because it gets even deeper. Like, I'm making this make sense. Please bear with me. It gets even deeper. Like, a dude said on a video that I did about New York, he was like, man, you just getting homesick. That's why you keep on talking about New York. You miss it. And I put like on it. I liked his comment. The reason why is because it was funny to me. And the reason why it was funny to me because, like, I could literally show you my itinerary, right, of where I booked the flight to go to New York, December the 19th to like the 22nd or something like that, right? And now I'm seeing, bear with me, hear me out. Now I'm seeing this COVID-19, and the Delta and all of that stuff variant, and New York is shutting down again. And, when we get up there, because I was taking my son, when we get up there, it's going to be cold. And, I want to take him. He's been to New York. He went up there for the summer with his grandfather, whatever. But there were certain places that he didn't go to, you know what I'm saying? And I want to take him everywhere, you know what I'm saying? I want to take him downtown Brooklyn. I want to take him 125th, all that stuff, right? I want him to ride the ferry. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't go to the Statue of Liberty. I just want to show him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to get on the train. They rode the train, but I really want him to experience New York life, the lifestyle, right? And I'm sitting here like, man, I'm not doing this shit. I'm in the process of changing it. I'm taking my ass. I already booked the flight to Miami in February. I already got that paid off. I'm gonna go to Miami twice. Like, the point that I'm making to make it relevant, I never in my life would ever think that I want to focus more on going down south, further down south, than going up north. I have no interest, absolutely no interest in going up north anymore. None whatsoever. It brings me to this point. I never thought ever in my life that I would ever think that I would say this, but I'm dead serious. I want to live like somewhat in the country. The reason why I want to live like somewhat in the country, I ain't talking about the boondocks and no shit like that. Like, say for example, if I live in Charlotte, right? Charlotte city limits, I'll live like Still Creek. As you go further out towards Lake Wiley, it gets a little country, right? So I'll live like further out, a little ways out of Still Creek going into Lake Wiley or something like that. Not really country, you understand? But country enough where my street is country, but then as I drive more into the Charlotte city limit, then it starts to become city. The reason why is because, like, the more land you have, the more you can do. If I have a house, right, and it's paid for, I pay, it's mine. I'm paying mortgage, whatever have you. I can knock the walls out. I can add on to the house. I can put a pool over there, a basketball court over there. It could be my own little world. That's what I'm saying. As I get older, I start to see life for what it is, man. And you can have freedom. It's just that you gotta create it. You gotta build it. You gotta own it. And there's no freedom in living in an apartment. None. There's no freedom in renting a house. None. Because you always got to answer to someone. You always got to renew your lease. And they have the opportunity to go up on your rent every month. Like, I'm telling you, seriously, man, it may sound disgusting to you, but one day I want to be able to own a house and go in my backyard and take a piss and don't have to worry about nobody saying nothing about it, because it's mine. Yeah, true indeed, when I rent and for that whole year I pay my rent, right? It's temporarily mine. But at the end of the day, it really isn't. Like, I cut some trees down, right? And some limbs in the front of my yard, and then, well, for now, my yard and the back of the yard. I really want to cut like 3 or 4 more trees, like big ass trees down, because they're blocking the sun, right? Now in the summertime, the tree grows and, it's leaves everywhere and it blocks the sun. In the wintertime, it doesn't, because of course, there's no leaves. But I want to cut that tree down. I can't, because it's not mine. There's certain things that I want to do to the house that I'm living in right now, but I can't do anything because it's not mine. We're very limited. For those that rent, are very limited to what we can and can't do in the apartments, in the houses that we rent. And I'm just like, I'm starting to like really realize just how important it is to own a home, man. There's a thing called equity. I mean, I could go on with the advantages, but the disadvantages, of course, you got to cut your own grass. I mean, well, I got to do that now. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely have to be responsible for some places. If you live in an apartment or whatever, you don't have to worry about cutting your grass and shit like that. Certain houses, your landlord provides that or whatever have you. But you definitely have to worry about cutting your own grass. You definitely have to worry about, if a pipe busts, or the electrical work or some shit happens like that in the house. You have to worry about that stuff. But I think that the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, and that I'm just so glad that I'm growing up now. And I'm not saying like I'm grown. I've been a grown man for years, but I'm saying growing up mentally. You understand? Like, in other words, what I'm saying is my mind is catching up to my age now, and I'm not ashamed or afraid to admit that. Far as dealing with finances, man, because we as black people, it's like the reason why I was very reluctant towards home ownership is it's scary. It's scary when you have a mentality of, okay, I'm gonna get a job, and let's say, for example, if I'm making like $50,000 a year, and you sign a mortgage and the house is $150,000, you're not gonna be able to pay that shit off in 1 year. And then they're talking about we're gonna spread it over for the next 25 years. That's what scared me. Like, to live in a fucking place for 25 years. What if I don't like it after the fourth year? What if I get married and I don't like this, I don't like my wife anymore? What's gonna happen? So that's the reason why I was really reluctant towards home ownership. But now it's kind of like I'm ready to get into it. But I do know that once I do find a home that I want to actually purchase, I'm definitely gonna have to put a large deposit down on it, because I can't see myself being in a mortgage no longer than 15 years. I can't. Anything after that, oh man, that's slavery to me. It really is. Anywhere between 10 to 15, I could do that. You understand? I've already did 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was in Charlotte, like, okay, I haven't been a total of 10 years living in Charlotte. But, like, from the first time I got here and then this time when I moved back, I say I've been here for about 7 years total, right? 7-8 years total. I've already done that. If you 12 times let's say 13,000 times 8, you know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, the amount that I've paid thus far. Of money that's going out the window that I can never get back. And man, several people have tried to convince me, yo man, you might want to, like, really, like, you're going up in age, you have children, you have a family, whatever, you might want to, think about owning a home. And I've always been on some shit like, man, I ain't doing that because I don't want to live here and da-da-da and this and that, so forth. But at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Let's say, for example, if I started, I got a mortgage when I first moved here in Charlotte, right? And then I decided in 2021, I don't want to move here no more. I don't want to live here anymore, right? I could have easily just said, you know what? I'm going to sell a house. There's options. There's options. And the market, the housing market in Charlotte now, let me tell you something. It's crazy. Now that I've decided that I want to actually own a home, it's the worst time to try to purchase a home in Charlotte, because man, they building everywhere, and man, the housing market is booming down here. So, yeah, man, I just wanted to share that with you all, and to the youngins, because I know I have a lot of young people that look at my channel, and I'm telling you, man, if you have the opportunity to own a home at 20, 25, do it. Do it, because I'm telling you, these luxury apartments, they get you on that bullshit. It's like you throwing money out the window. If you could own a home, own it. If you don't like homes and shit like that, houses or whatever, and you have the opportunity to own a townhome, a townhouse, a condo, or something like that, do it. Do it. Own something, man. Have some type of asset, collateral that you can use. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, I'm telling you, you walking around here with just cash, and somebody be like, well, what do you have as assets, that you could put up? And you're like, well, I got the retro Jordan. No. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't put up your 14 karat gold chain, because they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, no, it's more like an 8 karat. Don't do that. Take it from me, man. invest in something. Put your money somewhere. If it's not in, houses, apartments, not apartments, condos or whatever, man, stocks, bonds or something. Straight up. Other than that, man, I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Langston2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video.